manufacturing consent. It blasted apart the notion that media acts as a check on political power, that media inform the public, serve the public, so that we can better engage in the political process. In fact, media manufacture our consent. They tell us what those in power need them to tell us so we can fall in line. Democracy is staged with the help of media that work as propaganda machines.
Would you repeat what you said about Tulsi Gabbard?
This woman, I thought your performance was dishonest. I think your positions are extreme. And one question I would have for you is, why did you go to Syria to meet Bashar al-Assad? What was the intent of your visit there? And why were you so dishonest with regard to the mayor, insisting that he called for plans to invade Mexico, which of course he did not?
Tulsi
uses this language that feels straight out of kind of the Kremlin.
Sure.
It is odd.
Yeah.
That Tulsi Gabbard wanted to come for her because she is more of a fringe candidate, because her numbers are very low.
She has been honored by right-wing pro-Israel forces at the World Values Network Gala, which was co-hosted by influential Republican donor Sheldon Adelson. A photo from the event shows Gabbard posing with avid Trump supporters Rabbi Shmuley and Miriam Adelson, the wife of Sheldon. Now, keep in mind, though, Miriam Adelson is the type of person who's been very vicious against Palestinians and even considers them a made-up people.
To see Bashar al-Assad and cannot take away from her interaction with him or her observation of him that he is a criminal who is not just hurting random people, he's hurting his own people.
The Republicans like Tulsi. The Republicans like her, and I think she's a real Trojan horse here.
Hillary Clinton is suggesting that Russians are grooming a 2020 Democratic presidential hopeful to run as a third-party candidate.
Because when you look at her record in particular, she's apologized for it, but she was very anti-LGBTQ community. She also has praised Trump for meeting with Kim Jong-un 3 times. Well, they like her.
I'm not making any predictions, but I think they've got their eye on somebody who's currently in the Democratic primary and are grooming her to be the third-party candidate. She's the favorite of the Russians. They have a bunch of sites and bots and other ways of supporting her so far.
Also find it odd that the way she talks about regime change wars is exactly the same way that Russia talks about them.
Right. Now, when asked if Clinton was referring to Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, Democrat of Hawaii, Clinton's spokesman said, quote, "If the nesting doll fits."
She was one of 47 House Democrats who joined her Republican colleagues voting for a measure that would halt Syrian and Iraqi refugees from resettling in the U.S.
He added, quote, "If the Russian propaganda machine, both their state media and their bot and troll operations, is backing a candidate aligned with their interests, that is just a reality. It is not speculation."
She's also refused to call Assad a war criminal, and actually
She refused to do it last night.
She refused to do it last night, and then per an NBC News report, Russian propaganda machines favors Gabbard.
Looking off of sort of social media in the Twitterverse too, as well, because this is what you hear. If you're on Twitter, this is a lot of the conversation around Tulsi Gabbard from many Democrats who do see that she, or feel like she is something of a spoiler in this race, and her views align with Russia in many ways. But
could not in good conscience stay back here in beautiful Hawaii and watch my brothers and sisters in uniform go off into combat. These are people and friends who we never forget and who we strive to honor every day that we are blessed to live and breathe.
Thank you for talking against war. When you are talking about the fact that you are against war and you are against our foreign policies, I get very excited and I get very hopeful and I get tearful. But I also feel very hopeless. Why I feel hopeless? Because our system, our foreign policy is built in a way that we thrive when other people fail in the other part of the world. Tulsi, I'm all for you. And I hope that I'm gonna stand on those polls and vote for you in 2020, hoping that people... and praying that you will be the one person who will make the change, who will bring the change.
Who turned their back. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And we know people ourselves who have gone through this and felt like they had no place to turn. So this legislation is so important because it provides that path outside of the chain of command where you know that there is no one, whether it's your team leader, platoon leader, or your first sergeant, or your commander, there is no one who will be able to stop your pursuit of justice and accountability if you're a victim of assault in the military. This is such an important issue. Thank you for raising it. It's one that I'm going to continue to fight for.
People are sick and tired of politicians who play this game and do this political dance. If I just say this, or if I just kind of cozy up to these people or these interests, they can help me get elected. And then when I win, then I'm going to do the right thing. Well, guess what? When you win, got to win the next re-election. That means I need more money from Wall Street. I need more money from Google. I need more money from these guys. So I can't say anything to piss them off just yet. I'm going to wait until I get re-elected. Then that's when I'm really going to start to do the right thing. And I think people across party lines are sick and tired of the same old politicians who say one thing and do another, and instead are looking for real leadership. I would say that the vast majority of Americans have put up with the same old for so long and are sick and tired of this pay-to-play culture in Washington, of the political corruption that exists, of the big money special interests who influence the decisions that leaders are making that benefit them instead of the people.
I take the example of those leaders who have come before us, leaders like JFK, who met with Khrushchev, like Roosevelt, who met with Stalin,
like Donald Trump,
Reagan, who met and worked with Gorbachev. These issues of national security are incredibly important. I will meet with and do what is necessary to make sure that no more of our brothers and sisters in uniform are needlessly sent into harm's way fighting regime change wars that undermine our national security. I'll bring real leadership and experience to the White House.